The police just shot him for no apparent reason. No reason at all. They asked for license and registration. That's the police officer over there that did it. With the black on. I can't really do shit because they got me handcuffed. I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking back! Ah!
It's okay, I'm right here with you.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Nah, this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We would not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell them cross the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man body. Before I be a coward, I'd rather be a dead body. This will be my kingdom when the hour pass. You can either get with it or get flipped like an hourglass. We live by honor and no excuse. Just sit the prayer up to the Lord. I told him, then let all the terrorists loose. Hold your tongue or get rebuked, cause you made a truce. With a race to make merchandise, how to buy bills. Scared of who? You got your gun, then pull it. Me and my niggas start to argue, it's about who gon' bite the bullet. It gon' take round, take round, take round. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth, nigga, cool zone. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Oh, thought you
Alright, shalom. Hot damn.
How about that? Is that?
Shalom, yeah, come. A little bit off of it, back it off a little bit more. Put a little treble in it. If you got it. Alright. So shalom, Yahweh, Shem Yahshua Kathar. This is Officer Abraham of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge at the Durham School. Clap it up. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the Sabbath service. All right, everybody, Amanium. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, you can use that X. This is the spray right there. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do.
Slice your grill, little boxer.
Oh, see, lock it. Got y'all be extra assistants. Right. Girl school ain't got that.
Get like you want it.
Come. That was on crack. Good deal. So like you want to get it, walkie-talkie, Gianna's out.
Oh, sorry. I was a good party. Banya Shala.
Good party out. Banya Shala.
Y'all about Shimmy, I was shop workers up.
How about Shimmy? I was shop working up.
Alright, so Wapan Yakwadam, which means rise and face the east.
Okay.
Start with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Kaba'ah, Watazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawah, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathananawa, Kam, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawakinawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'aynawa, Balasaya 1, Abal, Habashaynawa, Mayan, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wakapara, Hawalunium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray for the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Babakashah. Lathananawa. Hakat. Larapa'ah. Kamakala. Kamarawa. Hakat. Lata'ar. Hamatazarayim. Hakat. Lahakwim. Hamakyim. Hakat. Arakarawa. Tama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman. In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please.
Please.
Give us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In the name of
Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Pray for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Slaya. Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Mataz of Yah.
Mataz of Yah.
Alawap Yah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawapim.
Alawapim.
Asaranyim.
Asaranyim.
Akutazayanyim.
According to Yanyim.
Akoya Yoyim.
Akoya Yoyim.
Wa Agwakim.
Wa Agwakim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Wa Hashim Yahweh Shai.
Hashim Yahweh Shai.
Tawara Aman.
Tawara Aman.
In English, bless you Yahweh.
Bless you Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Very much.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha.
Aisha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Mahorium.
Al-Mahorium.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yama'a.
Yama'a.
Isorium.
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 Ma'ayim.
Ma'ayim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Wa'aratazah.
Ba'aratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Namawat.
Namawat.
Regolka.
Regolka.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Ana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashun.
Yayashun.
Sharamor.
Sharamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazolka.
Tazolka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Walayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makarai.
Rakarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Napashka.
Nebraska.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazaaka.
Taza'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Wayatha.
Mayata.
Wa'ayalawalam.
Ba'ayalalam.
In English, I will lift up mine
I
eyes
will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy
He
foot
will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
to be moved.
He that keepeth
He
thee
that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasha'ala
he that keepeth Yasha'ala
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming
from
in
this time
from
forth
this time forward
and even
and
forevermore.
even forevermore.
Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Dam Yalaka.
Al-Bakarash.
Al-Bakarash.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al-Kashabash.
Al. Kayana.
Kayahana.
Aywadika.
Al-Wadika.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Amuka.
Yarayamwa.
Yahayam.
Sawadah.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Ya'aitazawa.
Ya'atazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Wakawa.
Lakawa.
Warakakidam.
Manakakidam.
Magolia.
Magolia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakor.
Yazakar.
Shem Yashal.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Aywada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'aitazawa.
Na'atazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alika.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakarathwa.
Yakawafwa.
Aholia.
Aholia.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Wayashamai.
Wakashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagorium.
Wahagorium.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amalak.
Wa'amalak.
Palashah.
Palashah.
Am Yashabia.
Am Yashabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Amam.
Aman.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Salaham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadian.
Kamadian.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Banakol.
Banakol.
Kwayashwa.
Kwayashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Wayanda Ara.
Bayanda Ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Deman.
Deman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shaitamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Kara.
Kara.
Because of Ba.
Wakazaba.
Because of
Sabbath.
Wakazabak.
Wakatazol.
Wakatazol.
Manaim.
Manaim.
Kal Asai Kumwa.
Kala Saya Kumwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Layarashah.
Nayarashah.
Lanawa.
Larawa.
Ah. Nawa.
Nawa.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Gogula.
Gagogula.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanyararaka.
Lapanyararaka.
Salaki. Tabi'ira.
Tabi'ira.
Yaira.
Yaira.
Wakalahabah.
Wakalahabah.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Tharadakma.
Tharadakma.
Basairika.
Basairika.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapatka.
Wapatka.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Wala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Falawan.
Malawan.
Waya.
Waya.
Bakwashwa.
Bakwashwa.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawah.
Yahawah.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahalwa.
Bahalwa.
Adyai.
Adyai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kaparawa.
Kaparawa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadwa.
Abadwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Dawa.
Dawa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Atha.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawah.
Yahawah.
Labarka.
Labarka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al Kaha Rataza.
Al Kaharatazah.
In English, keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate
And
thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people
And consulted
and
against
consulted against
thy hidden ones.
thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come.
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Yashala
That the name of Yahshua
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are
thee,
confederate against
the
thee,
tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
the Baal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
with the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
The sword
A sword
also is joined with them.
joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Selah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of
at
Kison,
the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb,
like Oreb,
and like Zeeb,
and like Zeb,
yea,
yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah,
as Zabah,
and as Amunah,
and as Amunah,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to
let us
ourselves
take to
the
ourselves
houses of
the
Yahweh
houses of Yahweh
in possession.
in possession.
O my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
like the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame
and as the flame
setteth the mountains on fire.
set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
that
name.
they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be
let
confounded
them be confounded
and trouble forever.
in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the
over
earth.
all the earth.
Sir, it's been turn. Yeshua, you need to be seated. Oh, Salaki. Just up. You brothers up here, y'all can Yeshua, right? You can sit down.
Y'all can sit down. That's what he said. You shall be seated. Fist bump. All right.
La Yashala.
La Yahshua.
Brother.
I ain't crazy.
All right. Yeshua.
No.
Oh, Salaki.
Come on, one more time. Okay. This is the third time you're doing it, right?
Yeah, up here.
Yeah, we the third time. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeshua.
Now you shot. Seated.
All right, Akim. Again, this is Isupk under Commanding General Yohana. We're in Durham, North Carolina. I'm Officer Abraham. You understand, holding it down for, the Sabbath service here in Durham. You understand, it's an honor and a privilege to be with you among you brothers again here with my yard, Parry House, man. I said, all y'all brothers, y'all Nazar, it's good to see y'all brothers again, man. Miss y'all brothers. You know what I'm saying? So, right here we are at Leviticus, the 4th chapter. We're going to start at verse 21. Of course, Kapari is going to take it for us in the Assyrian, right? Right. No sweat, no sweat.
I got you, sir.
Yeah, come on, pick it up for him.
Keep that, sir.
You're going to go to the end of verse 28.
Okay.
Just tell them where you're at before you start.
So the book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 21. Wa'a. So like a ya'a. Hagar. Hapar.
Right?
Ow. Makawataza. Lama kana. Washara. Athwa. Ka'awar. Wa rap.
That's Sharap.
Shalakia. Sharap. Hapor. Hara Ashawan. Hata'ath. Hakwahal. Hawa. Is it Hawa or Hawa'a?
It's Salakia. Yeah, it's Hawa'a.
Hawa'a. Verse 22. Ashar. Nashaya. Yakata. Wa Aisha. Akath. Makal. Matazawath. Yahweh. Alahaya wa. Alahayao.
Oh, that's right as well.
Ashar. La'a. Ta'ai Shayana. Bashagaga. Wa Asham. Verse 23. Awa. Hawadai. Alayaw. Kata Athwa. Ashar. Kata'a. Baha.
It's Ba.
Wahaba. Ya'a. Kwaraba. Nawa. Sha'ayar. Zayam. Zakar. Tamayam. Verse 24. Wasa mak. Yarawa. Al. Ra'ash. Hasha ayar. Washa cut. Atwa. Bamakwai one. Ashar. Washa cut. Yashakat. Hai Allah. Laganaya. Lapanya. Yahweh. Kata'at. Hawa'ah. Verse 25. Walakwak. Hakahan. Madam. Hakata'at. Ba'atazar. Ba'aiwa. Wanatan. Quaranath. Mazabak. Mazabaka. Ha'ila. Wa'a. Damawa. Washa guk. Yasawad. Mazabak.
Yeah, that's Mazabak Khan, Salaki.
Okay, come on. Ha'ayla. Verse 26. Wa'a. Kalabawa. Wakwa tayor. Hamazabaka. Kakalab. Zabak. Hashalamayam. Wakapar. Layawa. Hakahan. Makata Athwa. Wanasa Lak. Lawa. Verse 27. Wa'am. Napash. Akath. Ta'a. Bashagaga. Ma'ain. Rataza. Ma'ai. Ma'ashat. Ma'ai. Shata. Akath. Mama Tizawath. Yahweh. Ashar. Ha'ai. Shayanah.
That's La'a.
La'a.
Ashar La'a. And then Ta'ai
Shayanah. Wa Asham. Verse 28. You said 28 was the last one.
Come.
Awa. Hawa da'ai. Ala yawa. Kata athwa. Ashar. Kata'a. Wahaba Ya'a. Kwaraba Nawa. Sha'ai Yarath. Azayam. Thamayama. Nakwabaha. Al. Kata Athwa. Ashar. Kata'a.
God, so now, paragraph, if you could, take it back for us in the English.
The book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 21. And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. Verse 22. When a ruler has sinned and had done somewhat through ignorance against any of thy commandments of the Lord, his God, concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty. Verse 23.
This is the Salaki. This is how a ruler makes atonement. Someone in a position in power makes atonement for a sin committed, a breaking of the law that he was ignorant to. He didn't know the law concerning this particular thing. So this is the sacrifices of rulers or men positions in the government that they would take and have to do to make atonement for that iniquity or that sin, you understand, which is different from I'm coming to you, brother, which is different from, a sin offering that was made, for someone in the congregation. Go ahead.
So like it, sir, and the offerings that were being made, like these were like the best of what they had as far as like this bullock. It was like this best bullock type of thing.
It has to be. Any sacrifice made for the atonement of sin has to be a bullock without blemish. Has to be, a turtle dove without blemish, or whatever animal you're sacrificing to the Most High. In this time, of course, you understand, has to be what would have to be without blemish. Anybody knows why? Why must it be without blemish? I know what you're going to say. You're gonna say because it got to be perfect to the Most High. You understand? Which is true, but there's another reason. Why must your sacrifice be without blemish, without ailments or deformities? Why can't you take a bullock that has a gimpy leg and sacrifice it? Why can't you just pick anyone? You understand? That sacrifice has to be meticulously. You see how the judges examine those dogs coming up from the dog shows. They feel the muscle tone and they feel them all the way down. Has to be meticulously examined for any blemishes or any deformities. Tell me why. No one knows. No sweat. This must be a sacrifice that you make that is going to be a sacrifice. You understand? Like, of course, when you pick animals out of a slew or a litter or a fold, the animal that you choose to breed with is the one without blemish, the one with the best muscle tone, the one with the red nose, with the best red nose, with the one that's the biggest, the one that has no blemish, the one that doesn't have any deformities. Why? If you breed a gimpy red-nosed dog with another dog, what'll happen? You have
another gimpy red-nosed.
That's right. So that thing you offer to the Most High has to be without blemish, or you would take it and breed it with your other animals to produce more like him, more perfect animals. You understand? More perfect bullocks, more perfect lambs, more perfect goats. You understand?
So go ahead.
Like, so you're saying mainly it has to be genuine, like sincere about it, like your sacrifices.
No, it has to be what's going to sustain you. What as a herder of any cattle or any livestock, you don't breed the sickly animals, the ones that don't have the best muscle tone, because that's not going to increase your fold. You're not going to have perfect stock. You're not going to have perfect animals. You're going to have animals with blemish. You understand? So now when you take that perfect animal and sacrifice him, that's your livelihood right there. That's how you keep your business going. And that's why it's a sacrifice. Because if you didn't, slit its throat, you understand, and kill it, you would be like, yeah, I'm going to breed him because he's the best. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say because it has the most value to you.
Right.
So therefore, that's why
it has the most
called a sacrifice.
Right. It has the most value to you and your business and your livelihood. Go ahead.
No, I was going to, he said exactly what I was going to say. It's something that is the best of the best for you at the end of the day. And you have to give it up because you've done something wrong.
Right, out of ignorance. I'm saying, and not giving it up because you have to give it up because it is valuable. It is a valuable thing that you're going to continue to grow your livestock with. You understand? You're not going to grow your livestock with lambs that can't hear. You understand? Or you have a whole slew of lambs, the deaf lambs. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to breed you're not going to grow your goat herd with goats that produce sour milk, or that, their noses are flatter. You know what I'm saying? That they have blemish, because that's not going to net you the most profit. You understand? You're going to breed those animals that are perfect. The ones that have the best muscle tone. The ones that have, no spot. They tail the right length. You understand? Their ears don't flop to the side, or whatever criteria makes for the best of this particular animal, or this cattle, or this, sheep or goat. You're going to breed the best, because then, therefore, they will make the best offspring. You understand? So that's why it's such a sacrifice, and that's why you have to have a animal without blemish. In this case, a bullock without blemish, because it's going to be a sacrifice to you. Because otherwise, you'll take that bullock and say, oh yeah, that's the one I'm going to breed right there. That's the one we're going to make other baby bullocks from, because he's the best. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 23. Or if his sin, wherein he has sinned, come to his knowledge, he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish.
Right. So now, if he come to the knowledge that he's sinned, you understand? Now he should bring a kid from that. First you got to sacrifice a bullock, right? If he sinned out of ignorance. But if he come to the knowledge that he's sinned, it's a different sacrifice. Mm-hmm. You understand? It's a different situation. Mm-hmm. If he comes to the knowledge that, if he come to the knowledge of it, meaning no one else caught it, mm-hmm. but he catches it and says, oh man, I did something against the Most High, I broke the law. You know what I'm saying? This is what I should do in that case. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 24. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they killed the burnt offering before the Lord. Mm-hmm. It is a sin offering. Mm-hmm. Verse 25. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering.
Now this is, of course, this is the altar. This is where they cook, where they burn the sacrifice, where they burn it to a sweet smelling savor. You understand? He should take that blood. He's going to pour it out at the bottom of the altar, not on the altar so he can cook the blood, but at the bottom of the altar. You understand? It's a place where you pour out that blood, where that blood can't be, on the altar, but he going to take some of it, put it on the horn of the altar. You understand? On that structure on the altar. If you seen one, it looks like it's a slab of a stone, It's a stone slab, and it has decorative pieces around it. You understand? And some of these altars have horns on it, have pieces that stick up. You understand? He dips his finger in the blood, he puts it on the altar. You know, on the horns of the altar. Go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 25. Verse 26. And he shall burn all his fat upon the altar, as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. Verse 27. And if anyone of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which ought not to be done.
Now, Salakia, this skips from the ruler or someone in power committing a sin to a common person. One of the people in the congregation that does not have a position of rulership. He's not over people. He's a citizen. You understand? A civilian. Go ahead.
And be guilty. Verse 28. Or if his sin, which he has sinned, come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin which he hath sinned.
Now, a layperson can offer a female. You understand? A citizen can offer up a female without blemish. The ruler has to offer up a male without blemish. You understand? You get the difference. You understand? So, go ahead.
You know, that talks to the righteousness of the law, because those persons in higher authority are held more responsible.
Right.
And that's how it should be.
Right, that's exactly how it should be. Not like the Christian church,
right,
where, you know what I'm saying, you make a big mistake. That pastor down in South Carolina got caught cheating again. Yeah. And I said, I wanted to know in class, like, with who? With a guy? You understand that? With another the same sex? Or was it a woman? Or who? They keep saying he get caught in infidelity. But go ahead.
It's a lot, Galloway.
No, go ahead.
I read the story. He said that he only cheated spiritually. That's what he said.
brothers already laughing, right? What he in his spirit, in his heart of hearts, he wanted to bust that thing wide open. Is that what you're saying?
That's what he said.
That's what he said. He only spiritually, committed adultery. You understand? He spiritually did it.
That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. I wonder with who though? With who? Because he got, you know what I'm saying? He's real sweet because he contributes all his progress to his woman. You understand? He contributes himself as being the man he is because of that woman. You know, that strong black woman, and he wears every bit of all the skinny jeans. All the skinny jeans, his wardrobe is full of skinny jeans. You understand? And he pulls them all the way up. All the way up to his neck, skinny jeans. You understand? To his neck and skinny jeans. I want to know who, Salakia, I want to know who is it that he's spiritually cheating with. I think it's a dude. I think it's a brother. You know what I'm saying? Sugar in the tank, all of them. Fruit looping around here, cheating, spiritually cheating with. You know what I'm saying? Having spiritual sex with one another. Whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. You understand? Even if it's in your mind, it's a sin, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Even if you thinking about, saying homosexuality, it's a sin. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What he buying it now? What, he got a jet? Because he got to move up from that little Lamborghini truck. He can't get no Lamborghini truck no more. You know what I'm saying? What, he got to get a tank? You know what I'm saying? He gotta get a, some kind of, ATV vehicle that, floats on water and on land. He gotta do something special. Now he gotta get a UFO. He gotta get a chariot of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? To make up for this, debacle that he in now, since he's spiritually sin. This earth is in a shambles, man. You understand? Keep going, brother.
Oh, so I think that was the last.
That was it?
Come on.
All right.
So to Mariam, just up here. Call the next brother to present yourself. Young Zark, you can present yourself, Baba Kasher.
Yanazar, Ban Yehoda, Ban Yasha'Allah.
Yanazar, Ban Yehoda, Ban Yasha'Allah.
Yahweh Shem HaShai B'Rakatam.
Yahweh Shem HaShai. One second, Yanazar. Let's lock it from the right, brother. Oh, yeah, from this right here. From this point.
Okay. Wait, sure.
No, they told us to change.
Salaki.
Salaki.
No. You come up this way.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is your right. You exit from your right. This is
Okay.
not Salaki. It's the right that you face. Your right. This right. Exit from this way. And he comes and you comes up from your right. It's your right, brother.
So you come up the same way, and you come down the same way too?
Come, because that's your right. That's the one, it's the right that's facing the altar, facing the, you know what I'm saying, the altar.
Okay.
So,
So your shop, you see it? Verse 29.
29 to verse, 36? 35. So the end of verse 35, Yanazar, if you could, in the Hebrew, right?
Khan.
Salaya.
Mm-hmm.
Yanazar, you still have the mic on?
Oh, yeah, you got to block it. That goes to the party. Yeah.
To what?
Yeah, the water, brother.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 29 in the Hebrew. Wasamak, Ath, Yadawa, Al, Ra'ash, Hakata'ath, Washakat, Ath, Hakata'ath, Bamakwawam, Ha'ala. Verse 30. Walakwak, Hakahan, Madama, Ba'atazab, Ba'aiwa, Wanathan, Al, Quaranath, Mazabaka,
Masabaka.
Nab,
Mazabaka.
Mazabaka, Salakia, Mazabaka, Ha'ila, Wa'af, Kal, Dama, Yashapak, Al, Yashawak, Hamazabaka,
Amazaka. Amazabak.
Hamazabak,
Amazabak.
Hamazabak. Verse 31. Wa'af, Cow, Halabak, Yasayar, Ka'ashar, Hawasar, Kalab, Ma'al, Zabak, Hashalaya, Hashala, Mayum, Wahakwat, Tayar, Hakahan, Hamazabak, Ka, Larayath, Nayakak, Layahawa, Wakapar, Aliyawa, Hakahan, Wanasalak, Lawa. Verse 32. Wa'am, Kabash, Yabaya'ah, Kwara, Banawa, or Banwa.
Right there. Put it on top of it. There you go. If you want to use that. Yep. There you go.
Kabash. Yabaya Korabanawa. Lakata Ath. Lataka Ath.
Verse 33, right?
No, I'm doing 32 because I didn't finish it.
Okay, 32. Okay, got you.
Salakia. Damn, I'm lost it now. 32 again, and I'll pick her back. Nakwaba. Famaya Ma. Yabaya Ana. Verse 33. Wasamak Ath. Yadawa Al Ra'ash Hakata Ath Washakat Atha Laka Ta'ath Bamakwawum Ashar Yashakat Ath Ha'ila. Verse 34.
And that'll be Ha'ila. Remember that the A is, you know what I'm saying, it's always It's never There's no U's in it.
Okay,
no sweat.
So that's it.
We'll get it right.
Sounded correct. Walakwak Hakahun Adam Madam Hakata Ath Ba'ataza Ba'aiwa Wanathun Al Quaranath Mazabak Ha'ila Wa'ath Kal Demath Dima Yashapak Al Yashawak
Yashawad.
Oh, Salaki. Yasawad Amazabak
Salaki, that's Yasawada.
Yasawada
Yasawada.
Yasawada Hamazabak. Verse 35. Wa'ath Kal Kalaba Yashayar Ka'ashar Yawasar Kalab Habashab Hakashab Mazabak Hashalai Mayam Waha Kwatayar Hakahun Athum Hama Zabaka Al Ashaya Yahweh Wakapar Aliyawa Hakahun Al Kata'athwa Ashar Kata'a Wanasalak Lawa.
That's the end of verse 35. Right?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You take it back up from 29 to the end of verse 35.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 29 in the English. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering and slay the sin offering in the place of burnt offering, of the burnt offering. Verse 30. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. Verse 31. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. Verse 32.
Everybody, that's self-explanatory, right?
Come on. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. Verse 33. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. Verse 34. And the priest shall take the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. Verse 35. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offering.
Salakia. Leparia, you got something?
Yeah, so I got one. I had a question about verse 34. What's the purpose of putting the blood on the horns? The tip of the horns? What's the purpose?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just a procedure of, you know, placing that blood upon the horn of the altar. It's not on the altar. Right. It's on the fixture of the altar. Okay. You understand? To show that blood is being sacrificed. It's just part of the procedure. It's almost like it's almost like marking this spot here is for this sacrifice. This sacrifice is being, you know, offered up to the Most High. You understand?
So that blood that they pour out, that don't mean nothing.
That blood that they pour out at the bottom is the blood of the animal. You understand? But that's the blood of the animal. Okay. That animal. Now it's not that little drop that dipping his finger and putting it on the horn. That's to signify that this sacrifice is going on the altar. Okay. The rest of that blood, you pour that blood out. Because you can't. It's against the law to what? Eat any meat with the blood, right? Okay. So that blood is drained and poured out at the bottom of the altar. It's not sacrificed, not cooked with with the sacrifice. It's poured out. And even with this sacrifice right here, you gotta remove all that fat around the sinews and the flesh of that. You gotta remove all that fat. You understand? So all that gets removed. The blood gets removed. You understand? It's sacrificed on the altar. That's what we're talking about, the horns of the altar, that fixture that comes up around the altar itself. You understand? All right, go ahead.
So, well, while we're on the topic of blood, I don't want to change topic necessarily, but I'm going to ask the question the right way. But what does blood itself represent towards the Most High? Because even in the story of, with Moses, it was the same thing with blood. Now, obviously, was for a different purpose, because in this context, it's for sacrifice. But give me a second. But what I'm asking is, what's the purpose itself for like blood? Like, what does that represent towards the Most High? Because
it represents there must be a shedding of blood for any type of remission of any sin. Okay. You understand? Right. That's the Most High's way. He's a man of what? War. Of war. Okay. You understand? What warriors do? Kill. They shed blood, man. You understand? They shed blood. And you know what I'm saying? That ain't nobody. There's no one on this earth or in the next in the fourth dimension with more blood, on their hands than the Most High. The Most High has done more killing than any nation on the earth. You understand? And him for him to forgive you, you gotta shed some blood, man. You understand? In this case, he allowed us to be able to sacrifice this animal without blemish that is valuable to us. We sacrifice that, shed the blood of that animal versus shedding our own blood. You understand? And now when it comes down to today, Christ shed his blood. So what? We wouldn't have to shed ours. You understand? Otherwise, you'll just be killed for the sins that you commit. You'll just die. You understand? Your blood, some blood has to be shed for that sin to be forgiven by the Most High. And that's a man of war. You understand? Some punishment, somebody has to die. Somebody got to shed some blood, man. You understand? And that's in perfect character of the Most High. You understand? That's why it must be bloodshed. So in these laws, the Lord laid down, okay, well, for this sin, this atonement must be made. It's the bloodshed of this particular animal that must be sacrificed. You understand? Even when you see Cain and Abel, the feast of first fruits, right? What had to be a blood sacrifice. You understand? That's how you get the Most High's attention. Kill something. You know what I'm saying? Kill something. Let something go that's valuable to you. You understand? And that's how you get the Most High's forgiveness. And in these sacrificial laws, these were animals that were sacred to the one that's sacrificing. You understand? To give it to the priest and have it sacrificed on the altar for your sin is valuable to you. You need it. You understand? We were a herding nation. What it was, a shepherd nation. Shepherd kings is what they called us. So livestock was our life, was our bloodline. You understand? Was our lifeline. You understand? That's how we survived. That's how we made income. That's how we made our money. You understand? Was to have these perfect animals that you could take to a market and sell. You understand? For a good handsome rent and for a good handsome, lump sum of change. You understand? And so to have to shed the blood of that when you're using this to feed your family, that's a sacrifice. You understand? So bloodshed has to happen for the Lord to, forgive you of that iniquity or that sin.
If I may say.
Go ahead.
And also it seems that would help you not to sin, right?
It should have, right? It should have, right? After you lost thousands of dollars off of this lamb that was perfect, that could make other good, healthy, perfect lambs or perfect sheep. You sacrifice that joint and count the cost and say, well, if I wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't have had to make those sacrifices. Maybe I won't do that anymore. Yeah. But, again, the scripture said we are writing on a tablet that we are a stubborn and stiff-necked people. You understand? Even to today, we sinning against the Lord, dying left and right, and not even thinking, well, maybe I ate this pork and the heart attack. You understand? As we going down, I can't breathe. Pass me the bacon. You know what I'm saying? We still doing it. We still, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? We clubbing tonight. Got to get these hoes. There's some hoes in this house. You dying. You understand? You at the doctor. I just don't feel right. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel right. Like, a week later, you HIV positive. But yet and still, WAP is in. We getting sacrificed left and right, man. You know what I'm saying? We suffering from these sins, dying. You understand? But what? We stubborn. We stubborn. You ask anybody in the Christian church, that high blood pressure don't come from eating pork. That heart disease don't come from eating pork. That gout don't come from eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. It ain't because of that. It's just I just got gout. Okay? You understand? Anything but this is a punishment.
Right.
I don't have this cancer because it's a punishment of the Lord, from the Lord, because I've been smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day since I was 10 years old. It's just I just developed cancer. I don't have breast cancer because I done murdered, you understand, sister done murdered 6 babies. Now she got developed breast cancer. That's not because of that. It's because my auntie had breast cancer. You understand? Not thinking, well, auntie murdered 7 babies. Go ahead.
It's genetic.
Yeah, it's genetic. It's in my genes. You know what I'm saying? It's in my genes that you know, get all these diseases and be prone to these sicknesses. Not thinking that, well, maybe the Most High, what did I do? How did I sin against the Lord for him to allow this travesty to come upon me? That's what we should be thinking. You understand? But we keep going in the Christian church and they keep, you know, smoothing it over. The Lord accepts you as you are. When the Lord, when really the Lord is sitting back going, all right, time is running out. You understand? Time is running out. And in a minute, I'm going to require your blood. I'm going to require it. You understand? Because this is the punishment for sinning. Now, back when these laws was written, you understand, we could make atonement for those iniquities and be forgiven by offering up, you know, sacrifice. See what I'm saying? All right, keep going. Answer your question, Brother Salaki. Answer your question. Turn the mic on. Turn the mic on if you know what I'm saying. Is no, I don't know. No sweat. No sweat.
There you go.
The water. He heard it. Saddam heard it. He heard the frog jump out of there. Go ahead.
Verse 35. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed. And it shall be forgiven him.
Salaki, go ahead.
Can you read that? He said the priest.
Right. This is the sin, the atonement. The priest shall make an atonement for the sin that this citizen had committed. You understand? That he committed.
So, like, how does he make the atonement?
That's the sacrifice.
That's the sacrifice.
That's the sacrifice. It's okay. Think of it like this, right? You got priests that's in the temple performing the duties of a priest. When you commit a sin, you bring that sacrifice to the priest. You understand? Or however it was found out, like say you stole something. Of course, you know, your community would judge you and say, oh, we found the merchandise in Yanazar's, you know, possession. He stole it. You be found out, hey, you got me. That's what it's called, being caught red-handed. You understand? So now the blood has to be shed because, you know what I'm saying? If say you murder somebody, you get caught red-handed with the blood on your hands. Now you don't go and sacrifice the animal yourself. You bring that animal without blemish to the priest. The priest inspects it and goes, He looks at the law and says, oh, a bullock? Okay, you got a bullock here. He examines it and says, okay, we're going to make this sacrifice for the atonement of your sin, brother. You know what I'm saying? And even if a ruler, if a brother was in political power or a position of power in our government, he brought the lamb to the priest. You understand? If it was a priest, the priest brought the lamb to a priest. You understand? To be sacrificed. He didn't sacrifice it himself because he committed the sin. He's making atonement for this sin, and a priest, a Levitical priest, would have to carry this out. He wouldn't carry it out, even though he's a priest. Someone else would have to carry it out. You understand? He would be in need of forgiveness. You with the blemish, you got the sin on your hand. You can't perform this. You dirty. You understand? You got to make this atonement. So you bring that animal to the priest. They're gonna examine it, make sure it's a sufficient sacrifice according to the law, and then they're the ones that, you know, sacrifice this animal. Go ahead.
And like if you were sitting there being the one to sacrifice your own, you know what I'm saying, you would just pick any one and say, yeah, this is my sacrifice.
Right. It's checks and balances. That's very true also. You understand? You understand? So it was someone else had to do that. For a lay person, they just bring it to the priest. Now, of course, the community our government, the ones we put in charge, will say, okay, this brother was found to have done such and such according to the law. He's gonna, he's gonna sacrifice this. The priest was, inspected. This is correct. Now we're gonna have this sacrifice. We're gonna make atonement, for this brother's sin. And that's what this is reading right here, saying that the priest is making atonement for the sins that he committed. You understand? All right, keep going.
That was it. 35.
On 35, read verse 35 one more time.
Most I correct. The book of Leviticus, chapter 4, verse 35. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offering. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar to the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed, and it shall be forgiven him.
All right.
So with that, Almighty, just a bit.
This is my right.
The right of the one facing.
Come on, come.
Yeah, Salaki. 1 second. Young man, there. Salaki, young man. It's just young man. It's not.
Come.
Yeah.
Young man, Bahawuda Ban Yasharal.
Young man, Yahweh, Ban Yasharal.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Now, 1 second. Come this way. There you go.
Yeshua, you be seated.
So like, I'll just take it from him, bro. You understand? Young man coming up. Young man coming up. We're going to read the next 7 verses. And this is Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1. 1 second here we go. Okay. Leviticus chapter 5 verse 1. Wanapash Kaya Thakata'a Washama'ai Kwawal Allah Wahawa Salaki Waha I Al Ra'a Al Kada'ai Salaki Yada'ai Ama Lawa'a Yaga Yad Wanasha Ashanawa. Verse 2. Al Napash Ashar Baga'ai Bakal Debar Tama'a Al Bana Bala Salakia Bana Balaf Kaya Tama'a Al Kana Balaf Ba'ama Mama'a Al Bana Balaf Sharatazam Tama'a Wana Ilam Mama Now Waha Tama'a Washam. Verse 3. Al Kaya Laga'ai Batama'a Adam Laka Tama'atau Ashar Yatama'a Baha wana ailam mamanao wahawa'a yada I wa asham. Verse 4. Napash kaya dashaba'ai labata'a bashapathim la aratza awa lahayata salakia lahayatayab lakal ashar yabata'a ha adam bashaba'ai wana ailam mamanawa wahawa'a da'ai wa asham la akath ma Allah. Verse 5. Wahaya kaya asham la akath ma Allah wahatawada ashar hata'a alaya. Verse 6. Wahabaya ath ashama la Yahweh al hata athwa ashar ata'a salakia kata'a nakwaba man hataza al kashaba al salakia awa sha'ai yarath Isayam lakata'ath wakapar ilayaw hakahan makata'ath. Verse 7. Wa'ath salakia wa'ama la'a taga ya'ai yadaw daya sha wahakaya ath hashama ashar kata'a shataya salakia there may be shatya darayam how salakia awa shanaya banaya salakia banya yawana la Yahweh akad yakata'af wa akad la ailah. That was the end of verse 7. So now if you could, brother, so like if you got the regular sword we had Leviticus chapter 5 verse 1. We read verses 1 through 7 in English.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 5, verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
So read that again, one more time.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
So go ahead with your question.
No, I just needed a breakdown on that one.
Okay, so let's take it slowly. So if what?
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing.
So if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, meaning you know how they say you shouldn't say anything by the Most High's name. You understand? You shouldn't say we here in the school we don't say, you know, on my mama's grave, on my grandmama, on my kids. We don't say stuff like that because you understand that is basically what if you're wrong? So now you know what I'm saying, you are basically, you know, saying that this is true on the life, on the blood, on the sacrifice of your child or your grandmother, or you know, on four them graves. You know what I'm saying? So like it.
Yeah, come.
That's what you're saying. Yeah. So what if you're wrong? What if you know what I'm saying? I swear by this, I'm telling the truth. Well, what if you're lying? And you say on four them graves, you know what I'm saying? You would basically, you know, you're speaking. You're that's something that you don't have those lives to give. Those are not yours. You understand? That's the Most High. We belong to the Most High. So you can't, of course you can't, you know, promise something by the Most High's name. He is all powerful. You can't wield him to shed his blood or be the sacrifice for what you saying is true. You can't do that. You understand? You also I can't, you know, swear by my brother, you know, that what I'm saying is true because his life, he does belong to me. You understand? And now, even if it was your daughter or something that was your possession, you should not do it because the Lord is commanding us not to hear that, you know, we shouldn't swear by anyone's name at all. You know, it's just not something that you should be doing. You understand? You can't put somebody else's life on the line for what you're saying is true. What you should say should be true. You should not lie. So you wouldn't have to say on four of them graves, I'm telling the truth. You don't wouldn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So read that line again.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 5, verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness.
And so if a soul sin and hear the voice of, if a soul sin and this person hear it and he's a witness, go ahead.
Whether he have seen or known of it.
Whether he has seen or he knew that it happened. You know what I'm saying? Not that he was saying that, not that he was there to see it, but you know, hey, you know how words travel. Hey, you know, I was, you know, such was telling me, and he swore by his uncle that he was telling the truth. You understand? This soul hearing it or known of it, go ahead.
If he do not utter it.
If he don't utter it, go ahead.
Then he shall bear his iniquity.
Meaning, you don't do what? If you don't utter it, then you don't what?
Is it saying like if you don't utter it, that means you bear the sin as well?
No, what does utter it mean?
To say it, to speak it.
To say it is more. If you don't tell,
right.
If you don't tell, brother, if you don't say something, this brother did this, I heard him swearing this and da 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 da, you have to tell, which is a, you know, is a surefire way to get, you know, the S for snitch on your forehead. You understand? In Israel, why is it so important for Israelites not to, why is it so important for black people not to tell, not to say something? Because you understand that the stigmata of snitch has been drilled in our head that we shouldn't say anything. So what? So our kids get molested, our women get raped. You understand? And General Hyman brought it out in class the other night. Like, what's the best thing a woman can do when she's getting assaulted? Go ahead.
Scream.
Scream. Right. Tell it. You understand? That's how you exonerate yourself from wanting it, or else the you know, whoever the assailant will be like, oh, she wanted it. You know what I'm saying? The attacker will be like, oh, he wanted me to rape him. You understand? He wanted it. I can tell it. I can see it. See, he didn't scream. He didn't cry out. He didn't say nothing. You understand? So that's the best thing you can do if you know it. In our society, no one gets brought to justice if no one says anything. You understand? If you witness a crime, you understand, and even in this society, if you witness to a crime, then you have to say something in order for that crime to be exonerated. My y'all, you have to say something. You understand? You have to say something to let someone know that there's a crime being committed. Over there in Great Britain, they give them whistles. They give them whistles. You understand? They see a crime and they, you know what I'm saying? They letting somebody know, man. They ain't over there going, well, no, hear no evil, see no evil, and all that jive, man. They telling it. You gotta tell somebody, man. Carry you a whistle around your neck and blow it. Do something. You know, clap your hands, wink your eye. Tell it. You understand? That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things.
Now, at first, first it said, look, if you witness a crime, you witness somebody saying something they shouldn't say, tell it. Now it's going to go into touching unclean animals and dealing with unclean beasts. Go ahead.
And if it be hidden from him.
If it be hidden from him, from the authority. You understand? Go ahead.
He also shall be unclean and guilty.
Good night. He gonna be unclean. The person that did it gonna be unclean and guilty, man. You understand? Okay, if you commit a crime and you touch something unclean and no one sees you, no person sees you, how you gonna be unclean and really Salaki.
And if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty.
He also shall be unclean and guilty. Because, look here, man. Let me tell you something. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. You understand? That's a gangster for you. That's a real gangster for you. Yeah, I got eyes everywhere, nigga. You can't hide nothing from me. You gonna be unclean and you gonna be guilty. And then the scripture come back and say, what's done in the dark shall come to the light. You understand? Because you are not alone, even when you're alone. You understand? That's what this scripture is telling you. If you touch something unclean and it be hidden from the authority from him, you guilty. You still guilty, nigga. You sin and you guilty. And you unclean. You dirty and you unclean. You understand? The person reading this that is doing things behind closed doors, he like, you know, hold on. I know I just was dealing with that swine yesterday. I touched him, I grabbed him, you know what I'm saying? I threw him on, you know, I had a little piece of it when it was on the grill. Didn't nobody see me though. So you thought. So you thought didn't nobody see you. You understand? But it's angels in the fourth dimension running up and down this place going, this nigga here, he think he getting away. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be, that a man shall be defiled withal.
Like if you touch any person that's unclean, however he is unclean, defiled withal, you unclean too. If you touch him, you understand? If of course, this goes into the quarantining. You understand? You coughing up phlegm, and I say, hey brother, you understand? I'm unclean. You understand? No matter how this man is defiled or how he's unclean, it makes me unclean too. You understand? And no matter, I can't make an excuse and say, well, he was unclean because, you know, it's bronchitis. He been having bronchitis or whatever, you know, something that you think you can't catch or can't be spread. However, this man is unclean, that the way that you think you can't be unclean by touching him, you unclean. Basically. You understand? Keep going.
And it be hid from him when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty.
It be hid from him. Check this out. Say you got COVID. You don't know you have COVID because you ain't showing no symptoms. I come over your house, you give me all kind of chips and we touching each other. You know what I'm saying? We dapping up and, you know, giving each other dap and, you know, we in close proximity of one another. I leave. He finds out tomorrow he got COVID. Guess what? I got COVID. You understand? That happens in the world today. They will call it, at my slavery, they call it a contact circle. They call it a contact circle. So if somebody turns up sick, they'll go and test the people who that person may have come in contact with. They call it a contact circle. And they map it out in circumferences and they know where this person went to this department and that department because that's their job description. They didn't go to these different departments, have contact with these different people. Now we got to test those people. It's a contact circle. So with you being clean and you don't know, then you find out and I just was over your crib, I'm unclean too. You understand? Go ahead. Keep going, brother.
Verse 4. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these.
So now, okay, when it said if whether he doeth good or whether he doeth evil, like some things get past, like I'm trying to find a good example of the good. Everybody knows about the evil, like the evil that you do. You know what I'm saying? If it be hid from everyone and you know about it, but it was hid from everybody else, then you should tell. You know what I'm saying? But the good somebody could do, meaning say for instance, these are Levitical priests that's carrying out the law, right? Say you saw someone murder their brother and you took and murdered him. You understand? You seen it. You think you're doing good. You're doing good because what? Eye for an eye, tooth for an eye. If you murder somebody, it serves you right to be murdered. But you can't carry out that law. You understand? You can't carry it out. So if I see this brother murder somebody and I go murder him, which is good because he lost his life for taking someone else's life, but it's not because I don't have the authority to carry out that judgment. Right. You understand? That's why whether it be evil or good, you understand? Meaning good, meaning it's the law. It's the law. That's what when it describes something as, you know, doing good. That's the opposite of good is evil. You understand? The good would be to follow the law, to be righteous, to be right, to be good and righteous. The opposite is to be evil. You understand? So if I witness something evil, and I'm not in the authority to carry out the judgment, and I carry out right judgment according to the law, I'm wrong. You You understand? So what that does is it prevents me from taking the law into what? Your own hands. Exactly. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that he hath sinned in that thing.
So now you execute the law righteously. You go murder you go kill the man that committed murder. Now you got to confess because you're guilty of taking the law into your own hands. Now, how many people you know that got arrested for taking the law into their own hands? Gangbangers do it all the time. All of the time. You understand? Cousin Nuck Nuck got killed. We gonna take this. We gonna handle this ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And now they guilty. They go to jail for murder. They don't. The police don't. The authorities don't pick them up and go, you know what, brother? You was right. You knew who it was, and you hey, go on, live and be married. Nah, you gonna be on your face with the knee in the back of your neck, and you going to jail because you did the job that you didn't have the authority to do. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord for his sin which he hath sinned.
And he got to bring a trespass offering now. Go ahead.
A female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin.
That's the end of verse 7.
Verse 6, sir.
Okay, keep going.
Verse 7.
And the what? Wait a minute. And the what shall make atonement for him? And who?
And the priest.
And the who?
And the priest.
And the who?
And the priest.
And the priest, man. The one that's authorized to do this job gotta now accept your trespass offering because you took the law into your own hands and you was wrong for it and you sinned. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And if he be not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for his trespass which he hath committed 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons unto the Lord.
You can't get away. I don't have a lamb. A lamb, you know what I'm saying? I grow crops for a living. I'm a farmer. I don't have a lamb, Cain. You understand? I don't have a lamb to present for my trespass offering or for my atonement. No, nigga, go get this instead. Something that's maybe not as expensive as a lamb, but go find them turtle doves or what?
Or 2 young pigeons.
Or 2 young pigeons, man. Go catch them. Whatever you gotta do. Do it. You understand? Go do it. Go make the sacrifice to get these 2 turtle doves. And birds are hard to catch, man. You understand? If you really want some atonement, like they're chasing that chicken around in it, man, you chase the chicken, boy, and you'll be. Look here, you got some skill if you can get that jump, if you can get that joker, and it can't fly. A chicken cannot fly, but that chicken will juke you until juking is not possible to be juked anymore. You know what I'm saying? You will run in circles chasing a chicken, and that's why they do it. That's why, you know, it was on Rocky to do it. You got to have some skill. You got to be fast on you. You got to be limber. You understand? That's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice. Because what if you don't catch it in 2 hours? Rest up, keep going. What if your turtle dove trap don't work? Keep doing it. You understand? Go ahead.
One for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering.
There you go. That's the end of verse 7.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So with that, Amayo.
Young man, this last
Young man, could present yourself. Like,
come
over here. Yeah.
Right here in the middle. So you're Imam Shabbat. You'll say, young man, bun, you're Howard, right? You're Judah, right?
Yes.
So you'll say, young man, bun Yahawada, bun Yasha.
Young man, Bun Yahawah,
Bun Yahawada,
Bun Yahawda,
bun Yasha.
Banya Sharala.
What you just said was you're a young man from the tribe of Judah from the house of Israel. You understand? All right. So say it one more time for us. We'll repeat it back.
Young man.
Banya Hawada.
Banya Hawada.
Banya Shala.
Banya Sharala.
Young man.
Banya Hawada. Banya Shala.
You'll give the salute. Come to attention. Feet together. Come to attention. Yahweh Shem Yahshabrakatah.
Yahweh Bashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai Barakatha.
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai.
All right. Let him come down, and after he comes down, you'll step. All right. Take this middle position right here. Oh, Salakia. No sweat. Oh, you still no sweat. Salakia, young man, come back up. Salakia. I forgot all about that. No sweat. So in essence, this is the last week of Salakia. All right. Let's take that. Put that one on that side. There we go.
La Yasharal.
La Yasharal.
For your shop.
No. He's already read.
Yeah.
So you announce the salute the Torah.
Right. Men of Israel, gird thyselves to prophetic salute the Torah.
Imagine you'll blow the horn first.
Oh.
Then young man, you'll reach you rap strong. I envy you, tall brother. Reach over the whole thing.
Right.
You turn this way toward face me. Yahweh Hashem Yah Shabrak Yah. You turn and face that over there.
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shabrak Yah.
Then you go to the edge right there, and everybody will salute the Torah. And don't worry, it's only up here being shown. Yahweh Hashem Yah Shabrak Yah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakiyah.
Young man, wait 1 second.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakiyah.
All right, 1 second, young man, 1 second.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakiyah.
All right, you hear what they're saying? Young man, you hear what he said? Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Yah. So you're gonna step to the, you're gonna salute with your left hand over your chest. Alright, put your right hand on the scroll, and you'll repeat. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Yah.
Yahweh Bashem.
Hashem,
Yahweh Bashem.
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai.
Barak, Yah.
Barak Yah.
What you just said was the Most High bless the law in the name of Christ. Salakia.
It's like it's blessed me.
Bless you, Salakia. It's Most High bless you in the name of Christ. That's what you just said. As you saluted the Torah. These are the laws that you live in your life by. You understand? That's what you just did. Return. Young man, you'll come back this way. You face this way first. And when you get the order, you'll turn. Oh, Salakia.
I got you.
You
Salakia.
you just give it to him.
So you can salute.
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shabrak
I'm not gonna hurt you. Take it back. You want to flip it over? Yeah.
All right. So everyone's at Mario. So
One more time. One more time, and you give the order.
Okay, Captain. Alright. Wapan Yakwadam. This means rise and face the east. Close out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Shukah. Yahweh. Malakuka. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. Haya. Aisha. Baratiza. Kawa. Haya. Bashemayim. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kawat Nawa. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawat Nawa. Wala'ah. Tabi'ai Nawa. Balasai one. The ball. Abishai now. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. Alulanium. Aman.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. Baba Kashah. The thunder now. Hakat. La'afa'ah. Kal Makala. Kal Madawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakat. Lahakvim. Amatyam. Hakat. Arakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman.
In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Pray for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazam Yah. Alawapyan. Ha Alawapyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kotazayanyam. Ha Koyayoyam. Wa Akwatyan. Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua. The water Aman.
In English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angel. Commander General Yohana. The general. The captain. The officer. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha, Ayanya, Al-Haharyam, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Aizariah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam, Wa'aratiza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Wagalka, Yanawam, Shamarka, Anna, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Aishan, Sharamar, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazolaka, Aliyah, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarah, Walayallah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Kalrai, Yashamar, Adnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wabawa'aka, Mayatah,
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Dami Alakah.
Al Dakarash.
Al Dakarash.
Al Tashakwat.
Al Shakwarash.
Al
Al
Kayana.
Kayahana.
Al Wapyaka.
Al Wakika.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Aimaka.
Al Aimuka.
Yarwayamwa.
Yahweh.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Ya'ai Tazawa.
Yahai Tazawa.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Warakakina.
Wanakakinam.
Magolia.
Magolia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yashal.
Shum Yashala.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Garya.
Garya.
Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa.
Aholia.
Aholia.
Arawam.
Arawam.
Wayashamai.
Wayashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagorium.
Wahagorium.
Ball.
Gabal.
Wamawan.
Wamawan.
Wamalak.
Wamalat.
Kalashah.
Kalashah.
Am Yeshabia.
Am Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Amam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarwai.
Zarwai.
Labaya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashalaham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadian.
Kamadian.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Manako.
Manako.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Bayandara.
Bayandara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'alama.
La'alama.
Sayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Kara.
Kara.
Wakazaba.
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 Katazol.
Katazol.
Wanai.
Wanai.
Kaura Sayakamwa.
Kaura Sayakamwa.
Ashur.
Ashur.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Ayarasha.
Rayasha.
Lanawa.
Nalawa.
Ah. Naawa.
Nalawa.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagogala.
Kagogala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Yapanyarabaka.
Yapanyarabaka.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabiaira.
Tabiaira.
Yaira.
Yaira.
Wakalahaba.
Kalaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Kan.
Kan.
Daradatma.
Daradatma.
Basairaka.
Basairaka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapaka.
Wapaka.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Palawan.
Palawan.
Waya.
Waya.
Wakwashwa.
Wakwashwa.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Baholwa.
Baholwa.
Al-Yai.
Al-Yai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kaparwa.
Kaparwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadwa.
Abadwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Dayawa.
Dawa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ata.
Ata.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labatka.
Labatka.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Kaharataza.
Al-Kaharataza.
In the English, keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo.
For lo.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up their head.
Have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against.
And consulted against.
Thy hidden ones.
Thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come.
Come.
And let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah.
That the name of Yasharallah
may be no more in remembrance.
May be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur.
Assur.
Also is joined with them.
Is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Selah.
Selah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles.
Make their nobles.
Like Oreb.
Like Oreb.
And like Zeeb.
And like Zeeb.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zabah.
As Zabah.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
Who said.
Who said.
Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to
The
ourselves.
houses of Yahweh.
The houses of Yahweh.
In possession.
Into possession.
O Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame.
And as the flame.
Setteth the mountains on fire.
Setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
And trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Sir, it's your turn.
Men of Israel, we give one curse salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amayim Shabbat, Amayim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem HaShabbat.
Yahweh Shemi Hashabakatam.
Yahya Matah, class dismissed.